Hi, welcome to Royal Pride. I'm Tim Rutherford here again with Eastern Hancock Athletic Director Aaron Spalding. Seems like it's been a while since we had a chance to talk Royal sports.
Yeah, I think it was before spring break, before many of our spring sports were really up and running. So it's good to get back and talk about some of the things that are going on.
Well, and then we delayed it a little bit because I think early in the season it had just started and lots had been rained out. So
yeah, it was the first week of spring was pretty rough. Since then, we've had pretty good luck with weather. I think we may get kind of wet this weekend, but hopefully that rain holds off at least for a few more weeks.
Well, yeah, and last week they said there was a 90% chance of rain on Saturday, and that was as late as Friday, and it didn't rain a drop. So if you have any Saturday events, hopefully you'll get those in. Well, we're going to jump right into it here. Spring season is fast, almost in a sectional season in some of them because the seasons are so quick. I know a lot of the seasons are about 6 weeks in length, and you cram in 15 to 20 games in a 6-week period. So it makes it kind of tough on the kids. But because of weather, obviously, that's the way it has to go with high school sports. Let's start with the boys track and field team. They've had some success early. I know they had a lot of graduation last year with some of their key contributors, but yet they've had a pretty good start to the season.
Yeah, as you mentioned, we lost several seniors last year, but we've had a lot of kids step up. Actually, we hosted last night our Eastern Hancock Invitational that we did win. So we were champions of the Eastern Hancock Invitational. Earlier in the year, we had finished second in the small school invitational at Randolph Southern, so they've had a nice start. I want to mention last night we also had on the boys' side athlete of the meet, Alvaro Cosman, is a foreign exchange student from Spain who's really been a nice contributor for us. The way the athlete of the meet wins, the athlete who scores the most points for their team. I believe he scored 22 and a half. How you can get a half is if you're on a relay. But anyway, so congratulations to Alvaro last night. And then some of the other leaders that we've had through, Devin Brinson's done a great job with the sprints and hurdles. Really good. He's one of our seniors. Skylar Schroep has been outstanding in the distance. Really, stepping up. I know last night the mile he probably ran 4:46, I believe, if my memory serves me correct. I told him the other day I'm not sure I could run 2 laps in that, let alone 4. And he's done a nice job in the 2 mile as well. Reese Burkhardt has been outstanding for our field events, both in the disc and the shot. So he's a senior as well. Skylar's just a sophomore. But had a nice start to the year. We'll, as you mentioned, here in a couple of weeks, we'll be moving into the sectional season. That's, I believe, May 18th for the boys. They generally run their sectional at Mount Vernon. So hopefully we can advance some to regional and move on from there.
And apparently you've allowed Coach Schultz a recruiting trip overseas. You send him to Spain.
They've had 2 or 3 years where they've really had some nice contributors come foreign exchange students. So I haven't approved any plane tickets, so I don't know where we're getting these from, but they've done a nice job for us the last couple of years.
And then on the boys' side as well, just a special note, our middle school track team had a big win.
Yeah, I believe the boys are undefeated, and they had a big win a week or so ago over Greenfield. They always like to beat the Cougars, so that was a big win for them. And as I mentioned, I don't believe they lost. They won soundly the other night in a 3-way with Knightstown and Tri, and really had a good year so far. A lot of great athletes on that side. They're doing a nice job for us.
And the girls track and field team, they're off to a good start too. They were also obviously in the Eastern Hancock Invitational last night. How'd things go with the girls
they were
last night?
champions as well. They won the meet. Taylor Stein was our athlete of the meet then. She's a great distance runner for us. And so she was our athlete. I can't remember exactly how many points she scored, but she was athlete of the meet. So she did a nice job for us. They also finished second, as the boys did, Randolph Southern. The girls are just like the boys. They lost a lot of really successful seniors last year that have moved on. So they've got some kids stepping up, doing a nice job for them. Now they had a little bit of setback. I already mentioned Taylor Stein, a really good distance runner for us. Kayla Fancher was our top sprinter. Well, she's had a hip injury that's going to take her out for the rest of the year. So that was a setback for the kids. But we've had some other kids step up, some young kids, some freshmen, really doing a nice job for us. So Coach Galleon's in her first year, and she's doing an outstanding job. So we look for good things from them going forward.
Excellent. And we're going to move right out onto the diamonds now. And it seems like the theme is teams this year who have lost some key contributors from the year before and having others step up. Our softball team, they're currently 14-3. They lost some key contributors last year from that tournament run that we had, and have really stepped in and have had a really nice start to their season.
Yeah, they're currently sitting at 14-3 after last night's win against Trident Central at our place. They have had some really nice wins. Coach Medler really wanted to step up the competition level, and we certainly did that. We've added some large schools, Warren Central, which we beat, Lawrence North we beat twice. Hamilton Southeastern, we fell to them, but it was in extra innings. I believe our 3 losses came to Tri, which is ranked in 1A, Hamilton Southeastern, and then New Pal, I believe, is ranked number 1 in their class. So they've had some really stiff competition, had some nice wins too. The other night they beat Northeastern, who is ranked ahead of us. So doing a nice job. Talk a little bit about key contributors for them. Our seniors are all hitting over 400. I want to mention them. Peyton West is a senior for us, had an outstanding career. Brooke Walden has been a really key cog to us over our success the last few years. Casey Gilbert as well. All of them are hitting over 400. I think Brooke Walden leads the way. Right now she's hitting 583. So you certainly, that's almost double a good average. So she's doing a nice job. I want to mention a few other kids. Micah Black, a junior, another big contributor for us last year. She's batting over 500 and leading the team in RBIs with 28. She's a junior for us. And then you mentioned some people stepping up. Last year we lost Darby Shaw, who's probably the most successful pitcher in Eastern Hancock history, softball pitcher. She moved on. She's at IPFW. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. But pitching, if you know anything about softball, that is maybe, just to give you an equivalent, it's probably as key to softball as an NFL quarterback is to football. I mean, it's a very important thing. Well, we've had a couple young kids step up. They've done it a little bit by committee, but Elise Biddinger, a sophomore, and Jessica Potts, a freshman, have shared the pitching duties and did a nice job for us.
Excellent. Well, it's great to see that they're off to a good start, and a good batting average. Major League Baseball, if you're batting over 300, there.
Yeah.
What other world can you hit 30% of your quota and it'd be a good thing, right?
Yeah. Well, somebody told me the only thing that works is baseball and the weather. So if you can get it right 30% of the time, then you're good.
All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break here on Royal Pride. When we come back, we're going to go to the other side of the diamond and talk boys baseball.
A neighborhood drive-up builds their menu around locally sourced foods. A community-owned telecom delivers fiber optic bandwidth that helps them leverage high-performing technology with lower startup costs. Turns out, going local doesn't just mean fresh, it means better. Ninestar Connect. Community owned, community strong.
Welcome back to Royal Pride. We're going to stay on the diamonds here and talk boys baseball. So our baseball team's had another good start to the season.
Yeah, they've gotten off to a good start. They did fall last night to Heritage Christian, which is a sectional opponent. So that's probably our biggest. We lost to them last year in the sectional championship game at Heritage Christian. So, but anyway, they're 9-6 right now. Doing a nice job. Probably their highlight win of the year. They defeated Knightstown, who was ranked at the time, which I'm not sure if they're still ranked or not, but it was a good win for us. Regardless, anytime you beat Knightstown is good, but especially when they're a pretty good team, it's even better. So doing a nice job for us. Leading the way right now at the plate, Addison True's hitting over 500. He's also playing shortstop for us. Levi Majority, a senior, is our leading RBI. He bats cleanup for us, is leads in RBI at 16. And then another senior, Clayton White, who's been an outstanding pitcher for us over the years. Right now, he's 4-1 with a 2.27 ERA. So done a really good job for us. So the guys are doing a nice job on the diamond, and look for good things to come here down the stretch. I think, as I mentioned, I think we have a good shot to do some things in the tournament. So hopefully, we can get a good draw and maybe catch Heritage Christian, or maybe somebody will upset them. But I'm looking forward to seeing that coming up.
Well, and Coach Cook and I are safe because you can win one game all year, but it has to be Knightstown. Right?
That's right. That's right.
So it doesn't matter how we're good to go. So. But they're building on last year, because last year they tied the school record for wins in a season.
And they'll push that again this year. Hopefully get some good things down the stretch where we can get some more wins as we go. And I believe that was 15 wins. We've really over the years, our previous success baseball, we haven't had a lot of success. Last 2 years, we've tied that school record, and be great to see that go up again. So some good things happening for us in baseball.
And again, people stepping up because they lost some key contributors last year as well.
Yes, absolutely,
so
absolutely.
It's good to see that the program,
can
even when
replace.
when we're losing key contributors, we're able to replace those and continue to play at a high level. Well, our tennis program, our girls are underway here this spring. Had a little rough start to the season, but we're really young.
Yeah, as far as wins, losses, they haven't had a lot of success. But as you mentioned, we're really young. It's one of those things where you're hoping that the kids stay with it. Don't get frustrated. Keep getting better, and as they progress and get older, they'll get better. Just we just have one senior, Aaron McKeeman. So we got a lot of kids. Just mentioned some of the different kids that have played singles for us. Chelsea McMahon is just a freshman. I know she's even played some one singles for us. Karina Jennings has played a lot of three singles. She's just a freshman as well. Taylor Klein has played some singles. She's just a sophomore. And then Kayla Huff as well has played a lot of singles for us, and she's a junior. So a lot of youth on the doubles side for us. Cassandra Hanneman has generally played along with Aaron McKeeman, who's our senior, but Cassandra's just a sophomore. And then our number 2 doubles team, Madison Hagan and Valentina Brooks, are both freshmen. So as I mentioned, if these kids stay with it, expect some good things to come. Just like I said, keep working at it and don't get frustrated, and sooner or later, good things will happen.
Well, because most of the time they're probably playing mostly seniors and juniors.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't really matter what sport you are. If you're a freshman and a sophomore, it's going to take some time
to get there.
So
absolutely.
Our boys golf team's also underway, and is it true? Is this the team that we have record numbers out for this year, or was that the junior high golf?
Yeah, well, they did have some. I'm sure some of them stay with it. Golf's kind of an interesting sport because generally you just play 5. And only 4 scores count. So anyway, we have often, we did have a lot of kids come out. I think some of them have dropped off as time has went. But and they played last night, and I've not heard how they did yet against Cambridge City. But they're 2-3 in match play right now, or dual play. A lot of times they'll play in invitationals as well. But they're 2-3. Our senior Cody Young is our low man. And that's, I'm sure everybody understands that golf, the low is the better. You don't want to be high man in golf, that's for sure.
That's why I always lose.
Yeah, he's doing a nice job for us. He's a senior in an invitational, in the Mount Vernon Invitational. He shot a nice, I think he had a 94 on the day, which is that's a solid outing.
It's a solid 9 holes for you and I.
Yeah, exactly. So we have a few kids on the team who are golfing for the first time, so they're getting better. So we're glad to see them involved, and as I mentioned, we got some kids, some good numbers, and getting better, and hopefully have some good success to wrap up the year.
Excellent. And as always, with our spring weather in Indiana, you get storms, you get things that pop up out of the blue. How can parents or fans see whether an event's continuing on or not?
Right. What we do is anytime we have a cancellation, we will immediately post that to our website. And there's an announcements page on the front page of our website, which is ehathletics.org. So if you ever have any questions, you can go to that website and just look at the announcements. It's over to the right on the webpage, and see what's happening that night. Also, we have an app that you can also pull up announcements. I believe it's EH Athletics as well. Just you pull up and you can download that. I know on Android, I can't remember if the iPhone's working right now or not. But anyway, a couple ways. And then also on both those things, you have the schedules page that you can immediately look at up to date, because a lot of times there's reschedules of games and things like that. So we'll reschedule those, and you can see up to date schedule. A lot of people like those pocket schedules, especially people who are a little bit older that remember those. And we still have those, but those obviously do not reflect the changes. So you can check out in the app or the website and get up-to-date schedules to know what's going on, with weather and reschedules, those types of things.
Excellent. Well, we're going to take another quick break here on Royal Pride. When we come back, we're going to talk about a couple of fundraisers that are coming up, and then some of our students who have moved on who are playing at the collegiate level.
The dawn is rising above the hills of Tuscany, or just over the hills of Pennsylvania. A good night's sleep is important for everyone. Home automation just makes that rise and shine a little easier. Java switched on to get your engine started.
I guess control is just part of my makeup. It's important that I have the same control in my home just as I do on the racetrack.
Home automation, like racing and IndyCar, is all about control, simplicity, access, and efficiency.
Marco and ready!
Yeah, way to go, buddy, way to go!
RoomPad, at home and in your office, the control of your premise. Locks, lighting, thermostats, blinds, cameras, music, and whatever you can imagine. Simplicity in every room. RoomPad. Always on, always connected. And while away from home or returning from a long day at the office, your remote devices give you control no matter where you are, the racetrack, down the street, or around the world. all from your smartphone, tablet, and remote devices. The Wizard app automatically sets up your at-home and away programs when you rise to the new day or go to sleep at night. Lights off, temperature adjusted, doors locked, one touch, simple, all in a day's work. Home automation is your solution.
Welcome back to Royal Pride, and we're going to wrap today's show up in this segment, talk about a couple announcements, and then we're going to talk about some of our athletes that are participating at the collegiate level and having some success there as well. So a couple of announcements. We've got a youth booster announcement. We have an activity, I think it's a fundraiser. It's very limited in cost, but youth that want to participate here in the elementary have an opportunity to participate.
Yeah, we have a track and field night our youth boosters are putting on. We've done this for a number of years. It's May 9th, and it just introduces elementary kids to track and field. You know, we have a lot of baseball, basketball, football, softball opportunities, but not a lot of track, so this is just to introduce them to track. If you're interested and don't know about it, contact Corey Rainbolt here in our athletic office, and she'd be happy to get you the info on that.
Excellent. And then one of our educational foundation's big events coming up, the annual mud run. So if you want to come get muddy, May 27th is the day to do that.
Yeah,
and they have some different waves. Do they have an old man wave?
I don't know. I think you'd be in the family run.
I think that's probably still too advanced.
Yeah, there's 3 different waves. There's an elite wave that'll go out at 8:30. Then there's a competitive one that'll go out at 8:40, and then there's the family event that'll go back at 9. And if you're interested in that, you can register at royalmudman.com. So check out that if you're interested. May 27th.
And I'll be starting in the 10:30 wave. So
there you go.
Just a couple wrapping up awards that we got from winter sports, because we didn't have the boys basketball things out at that time of our last show. So I know you want to mention some of those successful
our last show, all the boys basketball accomplishments and awards and honors had not been mentioned, so I did want to mention those. We had 3 young men who were honorable mention all county: Duncan Cherry, AJ Meggie, and Jacob Eischen. Congratulations to those players. Second team all county, Bryson Napier, and then Addison True had a few honors. He was first team all county, is named IBCA underclass top 100. And then he also was voted first team small school, which is class 1 and 2A schools, underclass all state. So congratulations to him.
Excellent. And they're all back next year.
That's right. No seniors.
And our Royal Pride for Parents, an announcement there. We have our Parent of the Month.
Yes, we've started some with the Royal Pride for Parents, which takes our vision and tries to reach parents to get involved in that as well. Our Parents of the Month in April is Mike Womack. He has a 6th grade boy and some younger kids as well. Just an outstanding advocate for Eastern Hancock athletics. And then May, which is named for next year, so I'm a little bit ahead of the game, but Dana Allen's also been a fantastic contributor in a lot of areas and a lot of sports. She's had a son who's already graduated, played 3 sports, football, basketball, and golf. And Bailey Allen, her daughter will be a senior next year. She's a basketball player and throws for us on the track team. So she's been a great parent for us over the years.
Excellent. Well, now the time in our show where it's fun to see where some of our athletes have gone after they graduate Eastern Hancock, and we have several. So we're going to be brief and probably not do them justice, but we're going to go through all of them. The first one we have, you can see up there on the screen.
Yeah. Caleb Byers was a contributor. He played on our state runner-up football team and also a sectional champion team a couple years ago. Has now moved on to Anderson University and is playing for the Ravens.
And our next one's Darby Shaw. She's the Indiana Purdue Fort Wayne.
Yeah, Darby Shaw, as we mentioned her earlier in the show, is our stud and our ace last year, softball pitcher on our semi-state team. Also, some prior to that, we had some great success. Just an outstanding. She's now moved to IPFW, one of the very few athletes that have participated in Division I athletics out of Eastern Hancock. So she's doing a great job. Just talked to her mom the other day, doing a great job there.
Excellent. And Franny Stevenson is playing volleyball for Marion College.
Yeah, Franny was
Marion University.
on our semi-state volleyball team. I believe she graduated in 2014. So she's a good contributor for the Knights.
Excellent. And we've got a baseball guy, Garrick Ferguson, is playing at Franklin College.
Yeah, Garrick was our center fielder, lefty. Played on, we mentioned a couple, our teams the last couple of years have tied the school record in wins. He was a big contributor in that and has now moved on to Franklin.
Another volleyball lady, Hannah Best, is playing at Indiana University East.
Another contributor to our semi-state volleyball team a few years ago. She was the libero. That's another discussion if you don't know what a libero is for another day in volleyball, but on that semi-state team, she's now at IU East.
And then somebody probably near and dear to your heart, Hope Spalding. She's at Marion University running track and field.
Yeah, Hope was a big contributor on our cross-country successful teams and our track, the 4-time track. They were all conference champions and in both cross-country and track. She's at Marion running hurdles.
And running cross-country for Marion University is Kirsten Schroep.
Yeah, another big contributor to our success in track and cross-country is Kirsten. She's, once again, as we've got a lot of athletes going to Marion, it looks like that's the place. She's doing a great job there.
And in track and field, Riley Burkhart is at Anderson University.
She was a great discus thrower, once again on those successful girls teams. Done a great job. She's now at Anderson as well.
And Shelby Mowry, also track and field, is at McKendree University.
Yes, Shelby was one of our state finalists in the high jump. She actually placed in the state meet, one of the few kids in Eastern Hancock history to do so, now at McKendree.
And Savannah Blevins, she's playing softball at Franklin College.
Savannah, I believe it was 2014, was on our another semi-state softball team, a great catcher for us, outstanding young lady. As you mentioned, she's at Franklin as well.
And not pictured, we have a few athletes. Clayton Brumfield is running cross-country and track.
Yeah, Clayton has had an outstanding year. I believe he was the freshman of the year in his conference in cross-country. Now moving on to track. Casey Rubel is at UIndy, throwing the shot, doing a great job there. She was a state finalist. And then Carly Gray was at Culver Stockton. She's transferred running track, but memory slips right now exactly where she is. She was at Culver Stockton, but she transferred. But those are some of our athletes who've moved on to college athletics.
Excellent. Always good to take a walk down memory lane and see what our students are doing now that are participating at the next level. Thank you again for your time this month. We're going to wrap up the show here, and we'll be back next month with our last installment of the year of Royal Pride.